are live, and I am back with this guy right next door to me. It's the
Right,
one and only.
right there.
Right?
No, right
No,
there.
no, right there.
I went the
Where's
wrong
this?
way. Right there.
Right there, right there.
Yes,
And
I'm back. I'm back from my travels of I don't even know where I was. I was in Atlanta. I was in Tampa. I'm going to be in
I-
Chicago soon.
I'll tell you
But
what.
yeah,
Why don't
whirlwinds.
you take a minute to figure out where you were when we'll be right back.
There we go.
Grab your friends, find your enemies and make amends, and we'll meet in the middle. Take the pride and set it aside. My hands will build you a shield, and we'll solve the riddle. And we'll remember these times, we'll remember these times. Oh, oh, oh. And we'll remember these times, we'll remember these times.
Yay! What a way to start our show.
I still hear the song in my head.
I know. I love it. I love it. Oh, so welcome back. You like Rex said, you were big shoes to fill, but I'm so grateful that Christopher Rausch and Rex and Rex Sykes and Sandra Horton were here last week too.
I want to thank all of those guys. First and foremost, really enjoyed. Hey, Chris, Chris is with us now. I'm glad you're joining in, Chris. Thank you so much for filling in, and thanks for thanks for not taking over because you definitely could have, dude. You've got the skill, you've got the desire, you've got everything it takes to entertain and to inspire, and it's an honor that you would sit in my chair for a night, and good to have a friend like you. That's all I could say. Thank you very much, and of course
Absolutely.
to Rex and
Sandra.
Sandra, you guys killed it. I'm really looking forward to reading Rex's book now. So just what is this saying? I love jamming and inspiring peeps. Most welcome. And Chris,
And
I got to tell you, man, you and I are going to jam one day. One day, I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to figure out a way. We're going to jam. We're going to sing. We're going to have a
showtime
great time.
at
We're
our
going to have a great
showtime.
time.
We're showtime. You know,
Absolutely.
I just love how the worlds are colliding, Scott, and how we're around so many like-minded people, and we're all our mission is just to help other people, and I just love that.
Well, Lynn, there's a lot of good people out there, and I think sometimes we took that for granted until these last few years, and everything with COVID and the turmoil in Washington, the race disparity going on, and the racial violence that happened. There's so many things happened, and I think we started to really look around and saying we need to gravitate towards good people. So behind every tragedy, there's always something good. And I think what came out of all of this, and as you know, my passion for helping with addictions, it all went really bad just so that we can finally get better. So I'm glad we're connecting with these people. There's good people out there.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, I think some people had to sit back and see what compassion feels like,
Hmm.
and rock the earth a little bit to say, "Wow, this could happen to anybody. We can
Yeah.
all be," So, um, yes, very true. I've made some incredible brothers and sisters the last few years. Love you guys. Yeah, he's my little brother. I mean, he just had a birthday too. He just had a birthday a couple days ago.
Just had a
Uh,
birthday.
yeah, just recently had a birthday. He's younger than us, so he's our little brother.
Younger than us. I think the most
Yes.
people are younger than us.
Come on, he's not that much younger than us. He's younger. I think he's 53 now, so it's not that much younger. But he's our little brother.
Whoa. Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
my little brother. Leave it at that.
I could oversleep 3 times. He'll catch up with me. It's not that bad. Don't worry.
So how'd your Monday night with Gary go?
Had a great night with Live Out Loud podcast for anybody who caught that. If not, you can catch the replay on Live Out Loud podcast on YouTube or Live Out Loud podcast on Facebook and check out the show. But we had a great show. We did a lot of music trivia, had some fun, and of course talked about living life clean and sober and being your authentic self. So we had a great show. Thanks for joining us. I know you were in and out. You had a lot of things going on, but thanks for joining us, Lynn. As always, it's good to see your face pop up there.
Yeah, of course.
We'll have to have you pop into the show, at least do a little cameo every once in a while.
Absolutely. Maybe what I can start doing is, and let's not forget tomorrow night we have a show, Scott.
You know what we need? We don't have a traffic reporter, so we're gonna have to cut in for you. You'll have to do the traffic report in Montana.
Hold on a second. The sun is going down right now. Hold on a second. The deer are really at the, coming to my crab apples right now. Yeah, that kind of thing. I can do that. Next time they come out, I'll check them out for you.
I live in Florida. If there's an animal in the yard, it's usually poisonous or it'll kill you. I mean,
don't go out when it gets dark over there.
Yeah. Anything that slivers or crawls wants to eat you. Sandy Archer, thanks for joining us.
My sweet Sandy's here. And, before we start our topic tonight, which is exploring, embracing, and most of all, enjoying our imperfections, I wanted to show this little video of Mr. Talented, my talented Scott over here. Look at what he's done, you guys. This might be a little fast, but I just put this together right before we started. So tell everybody who all these are. Most of them.
Elvis and Jim Morrison, Tom Petty, Freddie Mercury, of course. This one is Gary Wayne, my podcast partner, David Bowie, and of course, Jimi Hendrix. And what I was doing is I decided to start painting, and I know we've talked about this before, but I didn't know I could paint. I decided to start painting. Those are the first 7 paintings I've ever done. I wanted to kind of tribute to the rock and roll heroes of my life. And that's what I'm doing with the paintings. And it turns out it's going well. I've started to make limited prints, like posters, that are limited, numbered, and signed, and they have actually started selling already. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm just having a blast.
That's good. It was a great idea, and I'm glad you're selling them, because then you don't have people that are begging and disappointing them. I'm so glad.
I'm keeping the original paintings. I'm hoping if I sell enough limited prints, the paintings will become valuable.
Exactly.
So, but the limited prints are going for $149 each, and it's working out really well. So,
and the size is what?
20 by 30. It's a full size movie poster, framed, and But if anybody's interested, and then I've got some people that want me to do some personal work for them too. Do some personal work. Yeah, NFT. I have to look into that. Then if somebody started talking to me about crypto money.
Oh yeah, don't even go there.
Do you even know what that is?
Yes, let's not even go there. It's not about this show. Not even go there.
I don't get it.
Go Google.
I just figured out how to use like a debit card. I mean, I don't want to do anything new.
All my old guy friends from school, they're all old school. I swear, all of them. They're just, that's. Oh, and now I got my friend Tammy here's in the house too. We got some really good people here right now.
Excellent.
Is just jamming. It's just jamming. You guys, I just love you guys being here. So as far as exploring and embracing and
first day with the new lips, what's going on?
Enjoying our imperfections. So I did a thing this past Thursday, and I kind of bared my soul a little bit on my Thursday, and it's pinned on my Facebook page if you guys haven't seen it. I don't usually encourage people. Well, I should, but I haven't encouraged anybody to actually see anything vulnerable that I've done. But if you want to understand what I'm going through and what I've been through, I would suggest that you go watch that episode. And so it was just really, just putting it out there. And I feel so much better, and I'm moving on. And so this is where we're kind of, as far as exploring and embracing and enjoying our imperfections. I mean, let's even go with your paintings and stuff. They look fantastic, but how meticulous and how do you feel about them? Do you sit there and tear that stuff up, or are you accepting where you're at with them?
Well, the funny part is, Lynn, the first few I did, I was so obsessed about
critical.
It's got to be just right, and it doesn't. It's like the very first one or two I did, I don't like at all. I'm not a real fan of those. Although the Jim Morrison came out good, but the Elvis I really didn't like because I was looking for something. I wanted it to look like somebody else's work. I wanted it to
Mm.
reflect. I wanted them to look at it and say, "Oh, that looks like this." And I didn't think. It wasn't until I started doing it a little bit more, and I said, "You know what? I wanted it to look like my work." And I'm Scott. I'm imperfect. I can be funny. I can be serious. I'm passionate. I'm all those things, but none of those things have the word perfect in them. So whatever I produce is not going to be perfect either. I mean, I made 3 kids. I love them to death. None of them are perfect. That's that's why we stopped after 3.
You know what?
So I had to relax and enjoy the fact that whatever comes out is what it's supposed to be, and whatever I do is what I'm supposed to do, and to really just live with that and stop trying to be perfect. I mean, do you follow where I'm going with that?
Oh gosh. In many ways. I mean, the part is, I mean, I've had to entertain myself, and that's just making my own self laugh. If I look at all the crazy things that have happened in my life, I'm just like, I can make funnies out of them now. I mean, it's just how the matter of perspective, but truly, you know, we are perfect the way we're one of a kind. We're one of a
Right.
kind.
Yeah.
And when you start imitating other people, like even these music shows and stuff, they're looking for people to be authentically them. They're not looking for them to be a karaoke similar simulation of Whitney Houston.
Yeah. They want
They're
the
like,
unique sound. They want a unique sound, which is only unique to you.
yeah, they don't want another Ed Sheeran or whatever. I mean, and then some of the amazing people that have actually gone there, and even America's Got Talent, the girl that recently passed away. I mean, it's just the people that come in and sing their own music.
Yeah.
It's just that there you go. Who's going to imitate that?
That's probably the most insulting thing they could say on the show is you sound like you're in a karaoke bar
Hmm.
imitating somebody. Because
Yeah,
I could go out there and sing Neil Diamond spot on, but all it is they don't know who I am. They don't know me. All they know is there's a guy who can do Neil Diamond's voice, but it's not Scott. What is
right.
Scott's voice? And so not that it's not bad to take somebody and say, like even you have people that you kind of emulate, and I have people that I emulate in certain
Right.
tasks and things. But if it's not about you and putting your own flavor in it, you're never
Hmm.
going to be Oprah. It's just not going to happen. I'm never going to be Neil Diamond. I'm never going to be Elvis. I'm never going to be
Because
those people. I'm not going to be Andy Warhol. That's obvious.
they're already taken for one.
Yeah, exactly.
Ta-da!
All those people can't be in one spot. They're already taken.
Yeah, because all the other, I mean, like they always get these different ideas, and ideas just recycle. I mean, everybody just comes up and recycle, but again, it's one of those things where it's already been taken. So why don't you be just the authentic original you with your own twist?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but exploring, you got to explore the fact that you got to start somewhere. You're not going to start anything being perfect. You're going to be clumsy. You're going to find a lot of error. And it always leaves room for getting better. Not always perfect, but getting better at what you're doing, or finding out your purpose with it, or enjoying what you're doing and figuring it out. Like I've taken a while, and soon I'm going to start doing podcasts. I'm going to, branch to podcast my shows. I think I'm doing this now. I think it's okay to go and do podcast,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where whoops, I got to shut that off there. And so it's the way you perceive things and the perspective, and we don't know what we're capable of till we start trying to do it. So why don't you embrace the desire when that thought comes up of doing something? You should say, "Hey, maybe I should do this."
Well, what happened to us as adults? We can look at a child and say, keep trying, you'll get better, and don't give up and all that stuff. But when it comes to us, we don't give ourselves the same slack.
Grace.
Where did we lose the ability to learn? That's what I want to know. If I don't know it right now, I'm not going to learn it because I would have to admit that I don't know something first. So the first rule of learning anything new is to say, I don't know. And that's the hardest thing for people to do. They think it's a weakness.
Well, yeah, we don't know what we don't know yet. However, if you negate from saying I don't know, you still open your minds to what you can learn and what because we shut that off. So the cool thing is realizing we don't know everything, but we can always learn something, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think the fact is we don't give ourselves grace. We're not kind to ourselves and say, hey, why don't you give this a try? Because, like you said, you wouldn't say that to one of your friends. You wouldn't say that to anybody that you care about, but you say it to yourself. So the self talk is what I knit in the bucket. And I'm definitely excited and happy that I'm being kinder and say, you know what? If I fall on my ass on that, I fall on my ass on that. I can take it off the list and say, okay, I tried that. I'm not interested in that no more. Can we move to something else?
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious if anybody else out there has experienced these kind of things and had to kind of learn how to relearn and learn how to be open to new things. And I like playing golf, and I haven't golfed in a long time. And everybody says let's go out and golf, and I'm afraid to go out and golf because I know I'm going to be very rusty. I'm not going to play very well, and there's something in my ego that says you don't want to go out there and look like a fool. But you know what? I miss the game so much. It's worth doing badly. I don't care.
Go wear one of those glasses with the different nose, or wear a different hat, or disguise yourself.
Go in disguise.
Yeah, go somewheres that you wouldn't normally golf or something, like take a step somewheres. Go somewhere else to practice where you don't know, if that's what it takes, or shoot, set it up at your house and practice and then go out golf. But don't stop yourself from doing it.
Exactly. But I think those are the kind of things we're talking about. Is like,
Mhm.
Why is it okay for us to tell everyone else it's okay to not be perfect? It's okay to fail or to fall down. But when it comes to us, we are so terrified of falling down. We're so terrified of being wrong or making a mistake. I mean, it's actually it's a fear that freezes us from doing things.
Yeah.
And I wish I could tell everybody this is the secret to how to do it. For me, it's just a matter of I had to plow through and just take the chance. But that's after years and years of suffering trying to be perfect. So, Lynn, I don't know what to tell people. I don't know what the answer to that is, other than when you reach a point where it's easier to move forward than it is to stay where you are. That's when you learn these things.
Well, when you have the desire and the passion truly to say, I want to learn this regardless, you're going to
Yeah.
learn it. And what about, you've seen little shows or different things where, guys, like before they get married or whatever, the girl wants to go ahead and have where, he'll dance at the wedding or something, and then they'll go take lessons behind somebody's back. I mean, whatever you got to do, you can Google, or you can YouTube anything and learn it from home before you go out in public.
That's
So,
true.
what I'm saying is take the baby steps, but do something to feel comfortable with it, and then go and get a lesson, or, get tips, get something that's going to trigger you to want to go and do that regardless of who's around. Or you might even have a good friend that, hey, I'm not really good at this. You're really good at this. Can you give me pointers? Can we go out? Do that kind of thing. Or, hey, I'm just practicing goofing off, let's go, whatever. And they'll be just glad, that they're helping you. I think if you're vulnerable and you tell people, hey, I'm not good at this and it's not gonna, whatever, if you can admit where you're at with it and give yourself grace, you'd be surprised your friends would give you grace and say, okay, come on, let's go, it's okay. They'll cheer you on.
They would anyway, as long as we're out
Mhm.
trying and we're sharing of ourselves, and we're, you know, um, that's the truth. And I know the things we're talking about, dancing and doing this and doing that, it may seem a little bit, but if you can't do those kind of really simple things, going out and playing golf and playing foolish, if you can't accept your imperfections in something that is so silly as a dance or a game of golf, how are you going to do it when it comes to the serious things where you where I look in the mirror and I hate what I'm looking at, or I call myself stupid, or I do those kind of things. If you can't conquer those simple things, how are you going to conquer those really complicated things that are really deep rooted inside of us?
Well, it's funny because I went and saw Laura in South Carolina. I saw Miss Elite South Carolina, and she and I went bowling. And I was like, girl, I used to bowl 3 times a week. And no, I didn't have a high score. I had like a 147. I was not a very good bowler, but I had a handicap, whatever. I was like league secretary, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, let's bowl. But of course, my bad knees, my legs, I didn't know how I was thinking I might fall, but I don't give a shit. We're going bowling. I mean, I had to like bowl way a little different, but I bowled. I mean, I got 100. I was happy. I was like, but I went and I bowled. I mean,
did you have fun?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I did. I lost all my nails by the time I was done bowling, but yeah, and I had to use a house ball, but I still went and did it. I didn't leave it to chance. Oh, it's been 10 years since I bowled. I don't know if I want to do this or not. No, I just went and did it.
Yeah.
I'll just about do anything and say, okay. And I'm a good for a laugh. I mean, so I went ahead and did it. I just didn't want to, it just wouldn't look good if I went flying down the bowling lane. We need to clean up, or we need something in aisle 7. It wasn't lucky for her tonight. But, I survived.
Bowling is a hell of an equalizer, let me tell you, because unless you bowl like on a league or something, we're all in the same boat. We're happy when we get a strike, and we kind of like, we're all looking for that next gutter ball. It just happens.
Yeah.
And if you really got some balls and you're not afraid to be you, put the bumpers up and have fun.
Yeah. I was looking to where's the hooks to get the bumpers up. I was tempted. But no cigar.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But you got to explore different things. I mean, the things that come up, we're intelligent people. And if there's things that come to mind that you want to try, it's there for a reason. It's within you, that desire and that passion to try something. So you should try it. You should seriously try it. I mean, what's it going to do? It's not going to hurt you any. I mean, and if you paint something like crap, you could say, oh, you see what my granddaughter did? Everybody will think it's great.
Well, I actually started one canvas and it went totally south. It was when I was starting to do Tom Petty, and I started one way, and I started putting paint to canvas. I kind of got the idea on the canvas, and I started putting paint, and it just went totally south. I started like shading in the area that was supposed to be unshaded, and this happened and that. So within like 5 minutes, I totally ruined this canvas. But then I realized how handy it is to have a spare canvas that I could test the paint on. And then, so there was like a reason for that. Now that canvas that was my mistake canvas is now my practice palette for everything else I do. And it's awesome. So everything has got something behind it. Everything we do is a part of our learning process. And it's important that we embrace that.
Yeah.
And, the minute I get perfect at something, people like doing puzzles, right, Lynn?
Yeah. I love
puzzles. What kind of puzzles do you like?
Jigsaw puzzles, crossword.
Okay. Jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Jigsaw puzzle. If I gave you a jigsaw puzzle with 10 pieces,
yeah,
and once you figure out how to do it, which will take about a minute or less, are you entertained by that anymore? Because now you can do it perfectly every time.
No, well, I take it apart and do it again.
Yeah, but you're not entertained anymore. It's not a challenge.
No.
It doesn't light you up. And as a matter of fact, you'll look at it and say, I need something harder. I need something that challenges me. Now, we'll do that all the time with puzzles. We'll do that with different things. Once we get really good at something, it's like, okay, it's not fun anymore because it's no longer a challenge to me. And I want us to approach our lives that way. It's like, okay, I'm really comfortable doing this and this and this, but I'm not challenged anymore. So I need to try something new. I need to fall down. I need to skin my knee so I can feel challenged and feel good about my life. Without that challenge, life becomes no flavor. It's like chili with no seasoning. It's just bland. So we need to constantly challenge ourselves. And we know this as human beings, but then we're embarrassed when we're not perfect at things. So it's a very strange dichotomy of feelings that goes back and forth with people.
Well, like I said, I mean, and it's funny, why is it that it takes like one of your friends to be doing something and all of a sudden you're like, "Well, then I'll try that. Let me try to do
Yeah.
that," you know? It's like you're scared. Well, if they want to look like, well, you know what's really become popular is that sit and sip, where they do go painting. They have painting and drinking wine. Not that that's in your wheelhouse to do, but what I'm saying is people paint different, canvases there, but they'll do that because either they want to go drink wine or because their friends are, and you get to see how everybody's painted something different.
Back in my old days, if I showed up for that, they'd be like, "Hey, the bad news is we have no more wine, but the good news is nobody touched the paint."
God. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you for being here.
Hello,
Love you,
Cynthia.
girl. But no, yeah, it's one of those things that people are motivated by
Yeah,
different reasons and different, things. But sometimes it takes one person to say, "Oh, let me try this," for other people to be willing to try it. You
right.
know. But
Yeah,
more than anything, it's so cool that when people can be audacious and go out and try and do something and put themselves out there, and they embrace
absolutely.
themselves. That gives so many other people the empower other people to motivate themselves to say, it's okay. It's okay to try and do things. I mean, that's what inspired me to be bold and talk about what I'm going through with lipedema and stuff like that, because I seen other people were able to do it. And so again, it's one of those things where you when you have a purpose or you see a need to discuss something or talk about something or be creative about something, you should do it because you can inspire somebody else. And nothing
That is so true.
nothing more important than inspiring other people to find whatever they want to do. I love hearing always backstories about how did you create this or why did you do this or what motivated you to do this, because there's always a great story behind the cause of why somebody came out to do something, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm wondering if this is one of the reasons that we see things like people going and joining a gym because I want to finally get in shape. And I know this was a struggle I have, but I get there and I'm like, okay, now I don't want to be the fat guy on the treadmill while everybody else is out working out and they're in shape. And I got young girls and guys lifting weights and bending backwards, and I'm on a treadmill sweating, looking like I just ate a pastrami sandwich, right? And and all of a sudden now I'm ashamed of who I am. I'm ashamed of having a starting point. I want
Well,
to be at the finish line. I don't want to be at the starting point, but I'll
see,
never get there unless I do it.
See, and that's the funny thing with me with my lipedema. I would be in the gym 4 hours a day, but I knew how hard I was busting my ass. I still
Right.
look chunky as heck with my thunder thighs, but I'll tell you what, I knew I was working. So I didn't care what anybody thought because I was outworking them all the time. So
Right.
I was like, I was in my zone and I didn't care. Matter of fact, there was one time because I'm watching Biggest Loser the one time, and I would be 2 hours on the elliptical watching Biggest Loser. And this one girl goes, I said, yeah. And I mean, all I could ever lose was 100 or 80 pounds. And then I'd be still stuck there. I told the girl, I said, she's like, oh, I can't be on this elliptical. I says, yeah, it was a little bit harder 80 pounds ago, but I still do this. And she's like, you inspired me to, she didn't have any weight to lose. She's like, you inspired me to stay on the bike. And so again, we're more judging ourselves than everybody that goes into a gym is in their own zone. They're not worried. And if anything, they do encourage other people that are there. You're really like, they have mad respect when you're in a gym. Nobody looks at anybody. They're like, wow, it's so cool you're being here. If anything, they're just excited to help somebody that's just coming in to work out.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's a matter of perspective of what we think other people are thinking about us, as well. But when you can see other people exploring and embracing themselves, that should be a part for you to look inside and say, well, why can't I embrace what I'm doing? Why can I not give myself permission and be kind to myself to try something so that I can be just as proud and happy as that person over there? And
Negativity is born from within us. And when we're looking at people and we're thinking, they're thinking this about me. And that's the biggest excuse for people not doing things is like, what are people going to think and stuff? And if I'm not perfect, I don't want to do it because people will think I'm dumb or they'll think I'm this or I think I'm that. But all of that thought and stuff comes from inside, because there's part of us that struggles with that. If you believed in yourself and felt good about yourself, those thoughts would not cross your mind.
Yeah.
So when you start thinking, what do other people think about me? And if it comes to a negative thought, just know that's what you think about you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're projecting it onto other people, because it's got to have a birthplace, and it's not being born by the guy on the bus who's looking at you. It's born by how you feel inside yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because if you feel good about yourself and somebody's looking at you, you come up with a million reasons why they might be looking at you, but it wouldn't be that negative self-hatred that comes from within.
Yeah. And that's just it. I made peace with that, and I moved on, and I'm like, you know what? They can think what they want. They either didn't see my podcast, or they don't know that I have a condition. They don't, whatever. They're not living my life. It's okay. But, to educate other people, because people act in a way that they don't know or they're not familiar with. And it's nice to educate other people because we're all ignorant about something. We've got to admit that. And if you can't admit that, then we do have a problem. I mean, maybe I should start an ignorant anonymous club.
You can fill Florida with the shit that I don't know. I mean, there's just so much stuff. But you know what? But again, that's about the challenge. It's about, if I knew how to do everything, I would be bored and I would be done with my life. It's walking into something and saying, I don't know what to do. That's why people love escape rooms. You ever done an escape room, Lynn?
Yes, I've done them many times.
That's why people love those. Why? Because you walk into a situation, you're like, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. And the joy is in each time you find something, you celebrate. You find a clue or a key or something, and you're like, yeah, okay, what's next? And you get excited. Why can't we do that with ourselves, with our own lives, with our own minor accomplishments, instead of waiting until we know everything to celebrate? We shouldn't. We should celebrate every step of the way, because that's what life is about. It's about challenging ourselves and doing something different. It's about learning an instrument. It's about learning to sing. It's about trying a new job. It's about extending yourself. I mean, Lynn, you've had jobs. Sometimes you've walked into jobs thinking, shit, I got a lot to learn, but you got to do it, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to go home and dream about work, like, oh, shit, got a lot to learn. Like, oh, my gosh, I'm overwhelmed.
Maybe I shouldn't have told him I know how to do this shit, because I really don't.
It's like, I don't want to do this. Whoa. So, no, I think you guys get the point of what we're saying is just, we are where we're at, and everything is just a chapter in a book. And how you take it, whether you take it with grace, how you react to it, and how you overcome the obstacles, you got to embrace. You got to just find a way to enjoy what you're doing at every moment. And then it doesn't become, challenge. It doesn't become something that overtakes you, and everything can be, you can find good in everything in life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, is there anything you want to say in closing? Because I think we're going to head out of here.
No, actually,
because you know why? Today is Mardi Gras, and everybody's stopping in and out. But it is Fat Tuesday. And what do you got there?
I got a gift from my business partner Karen.
Oh,
and
nice!
It's actually a peace sign, but there's a piece of wood inside there, and I got the certificate of authenticity. The piece of wood is a piece of the stage from Woodstock 1969. It's actually got a certificate of authenticity, and it's got the label on the back. But within here is a piece of the stage from Woodstock.
Oh, my goodness.
It is like so badass, and it's rock and roll. I want to thank Karen.
Oh, my goodness. That is so stinking cool.
Yeah.
That is something. Oh, that you must have been like, oh, my gosh, when you got that.
Oh, yeah. It's like I got a piece of the Holy Grail.
That is so awesome.
And we continue our work of helping people with addictions and mental health issues. We got a charity walk coming up in April. I'll tell you about it then, but it's about stomping out the stigma 1 mile at a time. And we're having a 20-mile walk, and we've got tons of people involved. It's a 20-mile walk to help first responders with addictions and mental health disorders. And it's going to go to our 501c3 nonprofit, One Brother, One Sister, which is about helping first responders defeat the stigma of having mental health issues and addictions. So that's coming. We got a lot of great things happening, and we'll talk about it in future shows. But
That's
It's
awesome.
just, it's so good. It's an honor to have great friends out there and people that listen and people that step up when I can't be here. And Lynn, as always, I love you to death, and it's always so much fun to do this with you.
It is. I love you very much. I am grateful you guys stopped by because it is Fat Tuesday, and I know you guys are out partying because I've seen on Facebook some pictures.
It's
Yeah.
either that or everybody's getting their cooking up their special food for their party to watch the State of the Union address tonight. I'm not sure which one people are doing. You're either
Oh, come
Fat
on, come on.
Tuesday or
La
you're
la
doing the
la
president.
la 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 la. And at that note, I'm gonna have to clip that out somehow. And we're gonna say goodnight, Gracie. I mean, we're gonna say goodnight, Scott. You guys have a good night. Love you guys.
Mahalo. Good night,
Bye.
everybody.